Hello, everyone. I'm so excited. Today we are going to be focusing on reading a book called If You Sailed on the Mayflower in 1620. We are going to be focusing on cause and effect and using quotes. So, cause and effect is something that causes something to happen. So, if I were to play kickball and get really, really sweaty and dirty, that would cause me to have to take a shower, which would be the effect. So you are going to read in your groups together the first chapter of If You Sailed on the Mayflower in 1620, which starts on page 11 and looks like this. Page 10 and page 11 starts right here. Where does the Pilgrim's story begin? So what you're going to be doing is read the chapter, and you're going to be looking for the causes and effects of the story. So when I was reading, I found the cause of effect of the colonists not making a lot of money. So it said that life in Holland was not easy. The men had to work very hard. They made very little money. So on my chain of events graphic organizer, I wrote the cause was that they made little money, and the effect was they wanted to move to America to make more money because they weren't making a lot of money where they were living. So we have our cause and our effect, but we want to support our cause and effect with some evidence from the story to prove our point, to make a very strong argument. So a quote that I found was, "The men worked very hard. They made very little money." Now, to quote evidence correctly from the text, we need to use something called parentheses. They look like two little squiggles right up there, like two little apostrophes next to each other. So I want to have an apostrophe or parentheses on the beginning of my quote and at the end of the quote. So I know that everything in the middle is what was in the text and not my own words or my evidence. So I wrote parentheses, "The men worked very hard. They made very little money," and parentheses to show that that is my evidence. So you're going to find at least 3 causes and 3 effects, and at least have one piece of evidence for each cause and effect. So I have my evidence for the cause, and I don't need one for the effect. Or I could find evidence for the effect, and then I wouldn't need one for the cause. Then, once you guys are done filling this out, don't forget to also write the book title and the author. Figure out where you could find that in the story. Maybe I give you a hint. Maybe look in the front of the book. Then you're going to go ahead, and once you're done working with your groups and talking about the chain of events, the cause and the effect, you're going to go ahead and work on your own on a Padlet to make 4 to 5 sentences to explain the cause and the effect that you found and use a piece of evidence. So I wrote a little example here. So I wrote, one cause that made the colonists want to move to America was that they made very little money. Now here's the important part. I wrote, in the story, it says, parentheses, "The men worked very hard. They made very little money," and parentheses. Don't forget we need that starting parentheses and that end parentheses. So I know everything in between is from the text. And then I want you to explain what that evidence means. So this shows that the men worked very hard but weren't getting paid what they deserved. This caused the colonists to move to America because they made very little money and wanted to find better jobs. So I have my cause and effect, and I also have my piece of evidence from the text that I use my beginning parentheses and my end parentheses. All right, go ahead and get started with your guys' groups. You guys will have to read the chapter. Don't forget to fill out your chart, and as well have one piece of evidence for each cause and effect. Happy exploring!